Hello, it's Bobi aka Paginator, and today we're going to be making a cluster for a swap. So I joined a swap called #Stitch and Swap. It's hosted by Janie the Crafting Bookworm and somebody else that I've forgotten right now, but I'll find her name and put it here for you. So we were assigned a partner. So we have to make an autumn or gratitude themed fabric cluster with a button or a charm and some slow stitching. You can do some machine stitching if you want to, but you have to have at least some slow stitching. I have my partner and she's actually already sent her package to me. I haven't opened it yet, but it's okay because we have until November 10th to mail the packages and it's November 1st while I'm filming this. So I pulled some things to play with. Of course, you can see this napkin here. And then I've just got some different pieces of fabric. I don't know which pieces to use. I don't know quite how big to make the cluster. This is the cluster from my partner Jory, and I'm trying to feel like how it feels like a fairly good size cluster, but I don't know how big to make mine. I guess I'll just start playing with some things. Hey guys, Editing Bobi here to say my swap partner's name is Jovi. I read it as Jory because the way she writes her V's looks like maybe they're lowercase r's, but her name's Jovi. Sorry. Yeah, let me clear the desk and let's start with putting this napkin on some cardstock. You can include paper elements, and I thought maybe I'll just like Mod Podge a piece of this onto some cardstock and we can use a piece of that. I've got an index card which should be plenty big for what I want to do. And I have my double sticky tape. It's got some eyelash trim stuck to it so it looks a little bit funny. So this can just help you pull up the layer underneath. Aha! There is another layer. Okay. Now you can do Mod Podge for this, but with a small piece and stuff you can also do glue stick. And in fact, I learned how to do this from Barbara and she used glue stick when I saw her do it. So I'm just going to place this on top. Got a little bit of a wrinkle here from where the napkin's creased, but we're only going to be using a small piece of this, so I'm not too terribly worried about that. All right, I think I just want to go like this. And I think I like the look of the torn edge, so I'm going to tear this down. I think that's all I'm going to use in my cluster. So that was maybe a lot of work for a small piece, but I don't care. I'd like to use a piece of this. This is my favorite Tim Holtz fabric. It is called London Gridlock. And I think what I'd like to do is again do some tearing. I'm going to do a slightly bigger piece on here, and we can always make them smaller once we decide really how we want the cluster to look like. How we want it to look like, that wasn't good grammar. Do we want to pick our button now? I really like this wood button, so I'm gonna keep that out, and then I can change my mind later because you can see I have this giant bowl of buttons. I'm so sorry. I feel so frazzled today. My back is out and it is on the mend, but it's not there yet, so I am constantly in pain, but I'm gonna do this anyway. Love to have some of this beaded lacy trim. I think this came from a thrift store, and I couldn't tell you which one because I've had it for a while. But what I think I'd like to do is cut a piece, maybe that bit right there. Or is that going to be too much with the button and stuff? Do we need something smaller like this? Let's leave both out in our pile of possibilities here. We have some of this beautiful ruched fabric that you may have seen in my Craftoween videos. It's actually a piece of a table runner. I had thought about this, but we have all these warm colors and stuff, and this is really neutral and this is neutral, so I don't think that we really need this. I have some of this chiffon ribbon that's just a really beautiful orangey color, so we can consider a piece of that. Would be a shame to not use some of this. Like, we have leaves, and I think this is another thrifted table runner. So within this piece, we've got various different types of leaves, and we also have a little acorn. So we'll just keep some possibilities here. This piece of fabric has some bison on it, and mountains and trees, and WYO for Wyoming. And I don't know, I really liked the colors of this. The dark colors I think might be helpful for some contrast. I tore it a little bit bigger than I wanted, so I can do tearing here to get the frayed edges. So I told you that the day I'm filming this is November 1st. I believe tomorrow is when we're having our the Defemember like announcement video from Barbara and Louisa, which I'm very, very excited about. I have been working on a Defemember scrap swap with the ladies from my art retreat, and I need to get partners assigned today or tomorrow so that they can get ready. We're gonna swap scraps to use for Defemember. For example, I might include a piece of this. This is from a restaurant called Neater's Bakery and Cafe, and this was actually from my sister's lunch when we went there because my omelet didn't come with a paper, but I was eyeing it, and my sister looked at me and goes, "You want this paper, don't you?" And I said, "Yes, I do." So I might give a piece of this in my scraps. I might pull some stuff from my scrap bowl. In fact, I'm sure I will, and just try to like pick out some things that I think might be fun for someone to play with. And yeah, I need to get the partners organized on that this weekend so people can get to work on their scrap stashing, swapping thing. And then for this big bag, I wanted to get this flower right here, this brown blossom. Can I get to one of those? Oh, it's not a bag, it's a pillowcase. All right, we've got it down to a more manageable size here, and you know that I need my frayed edges, so I'm gonna do some more tearing. All right, I'm not willing to cut this any smaller, so I think this is gonna be our bottom piece because it's gonna be the largest. All these other ones I would be fine cutting down into smaller bits. The problem is, though, when we add stuff to the cluster, we're gonna cover this gorgeous flower unless we kind of cluster this way. Do I just send this to her as an extra piece to play with? What do I do? Okay, let's try putting stuff on top of this. We have more of this we can cut out from that pillowcase, so all else fails, I can send her another one. What do we think? I like how the different layers are here and you can see all of the elements. I'm not sure about this piece being folded over. I think maybe we should just cut it in half. My only hesitation on this is, do we keep this bottom piece on there or do we do everything but that? So let's take pictures. All right, so here's our photo of without the bottom piece and then with it. I think it needs to be without, but I am gonna send this to Jory and just say, I wanted to include this, but it's so big, it didn't quite work. Please feel free to play with it because I think it's so beautiful and the colors work well with the other pieces. We need to do a bit of glue to just start hooking things together. Then I also need to do some slow stitching or I won't have fulfilled the number 1 prompt, because that's all about the slow stitching. So we're just gonna hook things together and then I'll decide where I want to stitch. Sorry, I know the light hits this glass mat and I would move it for the videos that I don't really need it, but it's heavy and as I mentioned before, my back is out and it's kind of a pain in the butt to like take it out and put it back in and all that stuff. So for today, we're just gonna have to deal with the glare. All right, let me go grab my sewing box. All right, we sewed the button on. I used green because we have a little bit of green in the paper piece here. And I thought that might be a good little pop of color. I do want to cut these threads a little bit shorter though, just because I think it'll look nicer that way. Okay, and then for our slow stitching, which I don't think just sewing on the button counts, because yeah, it is technically, but I mean, we need something a little bit more. I was thinking about maybe doing something across here, or maybe something here. Ooh, maybe some like X's hooking these two pieces together would be fun. Do I want to do that in green or a different color? Maybe brown? I have a load of different colors of embroidery thread and stuff. So I'm gonna pop into the craft room and get a color that I think will work, and then I will be right back. And we're back. I got a dark chocolate kind of brown, and then I also got kind of a harvesty gold color. And I'm really leaning towards the gold. So I think we'll try getting this on a needle, and I'll mark out some holes to do X's, and then we'll see how it looks and go from there. Not perfect, but what do I always say? We strive for imperfection. Okay, I think we are good. We've got lots of different elements. We've got our button or charm. We've got slow stitching. Yay. So I'm going to send this to Jory, and then I'm also going to send her this piece just for funsies. And since her package has already arrived, let's open it and see what she sent me. Oh boy. Oh, cute. Look at this card. Imagine, mental image of, images in the mind. Ah, and she did some collaging on here. Look, we've got a book page and a bird. I think that's a rub-on maybe, and some napkin. Here was some beautiful tropical flowers. Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, so she sent extra fabric pieces and 3 clusters. We only had to make 1. What do I do? Okay, so this has got to be the autumn one, right? And then these were maybe just some other ones that she had too, because that one like has a donut on it. Okay. All really beautiful though. Holy cow. And some more fabric. Hi Bobby, thank you for being my swap partner. I am not much of a slow stitcher, but it was fun to make these. Best wishes, Jory. I'm not too great at the slow stitching myself. So cute. Okay, so I need to make her a little card or something and get this all packaged up, but I think I'm going to do that off camera because my back hurts and I need a break. So in the space below, I will link Janie and the other host, provided I have remembered to find her name. Crossing my fingers for editing me. You can also look up the hashtag Stitch and Swap. I don't know how many people are going to be doing videos. Some might be doing Instagram posts, etc. And you can see what other people are doing for their clusters. And I think that'll be it for this video. So thanks for joining me. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this, and if you're not sure what to say, leave me like a leaf emoji or something autumn related, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading, crafting, or journaling. Adios.